15th of May, Rabbi, more Parsha Hashavua with Rashi Emor.
Because at Lechem, because I don't see a verb here. Lechem is bread of Hashem.
Makriv.
Oh, Humakriv. Okay. So he brings to him food.
Offers. He is the one who offers.
Offers.
In other words, he's the one to serve in the Beis Hamikdash to offer the korbanos. Therefore,
Oh,
must
okay.
sanctify him.
Okay. And Kadoshi, he will be holy to you.
Oh,
Ki Kadosh, for I am holy. Let's see. Ani Hashem Mikadeshichem.
Kodesh, yeah.
Okay, because
Hashem who sanctifies you is I'm too am holy.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay, so Rashi says, the Hidashato, you'll sanctify him. Akorcho, against his will.
As well.
Okay, she'im lo ratza ligaresh. That if, let's see, he doesn't want to divorce. Oh, so this is the Kohen or any man?
The Kohen.
The Kohen.
Meaning you, the Jewish people, or you, Bezdin, you must sanctify him, that to make sure that he doesn't, let's say if he wrongly he goes and marries a divorcee, a Kohen, you've got to make sure that he divorces her.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So he divorces her, but Haliku, to give him lashes, Vyastrehu, and to I guess keep after him and ad sheyigaresh, until he divorces her.
Right.
Okay, so you have to force the Kohen to divorce this person, this woman.
Right.
Okay, and then it says.
By the way, when we say forcing him, this is one of the I couldn't call it an anomaly is the right word. Here's an interesting situation, because a man is not allowed to divorce his wife if he's forced into it.
Oh.
You cannot force a man to divorce his wife.
Wow.
Okay? So how are you going to do it over here? So the Gemara says, you force until he says, means you give him some sort of coercion, and even give him lashes or whatever, till he gets to the situation, he says, okay, I'm willing.
Wow.
And the Mefarshim explain is that when Be'etzem, he should, every Jew wants to do the right thing.
Right. Okay.
He only does wrong because the Yetzer Hara is getting the better of it. So we kind of, our coercion to make him divorce her is in the form of, we want to suppress his Yetzer Hara, and we tell his Yetzer Hara, you're just, getting hold of this guy because he's getting hold of his tivus. He likes this woman. He thinks she's beautiful or whatever. And that's why he wants to marry her. So, Mr. Yetzirah, we're going to give this guy, we're going to flog this guy to make sure to realize that he can bring him to his senses.
Uh-huh.
And you're saying, that he realizes he's what he's supposed to be doing, what he's supposed to be fulfilling the wish of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's really what he wants to do.
Right.
He's been caught up in a passion and he wants to marry this woman, wants to stay married to this woman who's a divorcee, that's the Yetzer Hara getting the better of him.
Wow.
So kind of these flogging him or coercing him is to bring him to his senses. Okay.
Good. Okay. One more Rashi. It looks two more.
All right. Kodesh Yeh
Okay. Kadosh Yeh Lach shall be holy to you. Nahog bo kedusha. It's Nahog.
act.
Oh, act with holiness to him, I guess.
Right. Act treat him with holiness.
Okay. Livtoach rishon b'chol davar. Okay, so he should begin Livtoach, I guess.
He should be the first one. Let's say you have
To begin with this matter.
A list of speakers at a convention or something like that. He should be the first one to speak. Or
okay. Oh, look at this. I guess that's why I always get asked to do Birchat Hamazon. It says Ulevarech Rishon B'Suda.
right.
And he's the first one to bless, to do the blessing at the meal.
Right. To lead the benching.
Lead the benching. Oh. Wow, that's cool.
I guess that depends what they served at the meal.
Yeah, that's true too.
Right. Okay. By the way, Lou, you're muted. But we're not having a mutiny here. Okay. Right. Okay. By the way, it's interesting. People are not always aware. Obviously, you give the Kohen always the first aliyah in the what's Kriyas Torah, and as you say for benching. But there are other situations where you should also, let's say something is dividing out something among, let's say a place, you got a company or some other group of people are dividing something out. So the Kohen gets the first dibs.
Oh.
Because he's a Kohen. But it's interesting, it's only in things where he's equal to others, meaning the question is, he's got an equal right to like everybody else. Now, the question is, who should choose first? So then you choose the Kohen first. Well, but if somebody else has a right ahead of him, then there's no meaning of preceding the Kohen to this person. I tell you what the classic example is. You got people coming in line in the bank, people waiting in the bank, okay? And you're, let's say, number 3 or 4 in the line, and there's about another 10 people behind you. And you come along, and this Mr. Cohen walks in. So how do you have a chiyuv to say, oh, yeah, Mr. Cohen, you're a Cohen. Here, come, take my place. What say you? That's what you're supposed to do?
I would say no, because it's a, how can I say, a burden to those who have been waiting beforehand.
Okay, so you're right and not right. I mean,
Okay.
okay, I'm saying because merely it's a burden, that wouldn't necessarily be the deciding factor. But the point is, when people are waiting online, we're not equal. Number one is before number two, and number two is before number three. So if now the Kohen walks in and he's number 12, okay, I've got no chiyuv as far as to sanctify him, to put him up to number 3. If there are 10 people all waiting in line equally,
Right.
and the question is who gets the chance to go first. So if they're all equal, then the Kohen goes first. Okay, but if others have a right to be ahead of him, there's no Indian of putting the Kohen ahead of everybody. They have a right to be ahead of him. Okay. Let's go on. Pasuk Tess, Lou.
Okay, let's see. Where does it start? Uvas ish kohen ki seichel liz nos es aviha he mechaleles ba esh tisaref. Let's see. If the daughter of a man who is a Kohen will be defiled through relationships, she defiles her father.
Okay,
She shall be burned in fire.
Right. Okay.
So ki seichel liznos kishetis chalel, when she will become defiled, al yedei znus, through relationships, shehaisa ba zikas baal, that she was in the bond of a husband. She was bonded to a husband.
Right. I mean, bond, maybe it's a good word. I'm not sure. First of all, zikas bar, meaning she had a bond, she had a connection to her husband, even though she's not fully married to him, right? But she nevertheless, since she was already bound to her husband, right, to another man, therefore she's forbidden for her, if she now has relations with another man, that's considered znus. That's considered immorality.
We usually see the words zika when we're talking about yibum.
Right. But here, zika means, as somebody well translated, means a bond. She has a connection to her husband.
Right.
Now, comes to yibum, even if she's not married, she also has a zika. She has a connection to the deceased man's brother because now he's obligated to do yibum with her. Okay, that's what the term is used. So there's already a connection to the her deceased husband's brother because the fact that there's an obligation upon him to do yibum with her. But otherwise, if a woman who's not necessarily her husband died, she has a connection to her husband, but only if he has done a proper kiddushin with her. That's what Rashi says. So
Vizanta, she had relations.
It's illicit relations, but the point
Ruth,
is,
what?
these are considered illicit relations.
Right.
because she was already Mina Erusin, she was already married to this man, to a man. Either she'd had Erusin, which means Kiddushin, which is the first stage of marriage, or Mina Nisuin, or she'd gone through already the full stage of marriage.
So notice if she had relationships with a man who was not her bonded to her,
Right?
when she was bonded through Erusin or through Nisuin,
Right, correct.
then Rabosenu nech leku bidavar.
Means this din, which we say over here, that a daughter of a Kohen who acts immorally, is a machlekas whether her marriage to the fact that she's already married to somebody, was she married Mina Nesuin, means was she fully married to her husband? And only then does this din apply, that if she acts adulterously, then she's the form of death, the death sentence imposed upon her is fire, okay? Some and others say no, that even if she acted adulterously and she only had erusin with her husband, she wasn't fully married to her husband, she'd only had the first stage of marriage with her husband. Nevertheless, even also in such a situation, this daughter of a Kohen who acts adulterously, will get fire, death by fire.
But not if she is in a situation where she's fallen to Yibum.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I'm not sure.
So for Rabosenu
Yeah.
leku bidavar, the rabbis are divided about this matter. V'hakol modim, but all agree, shelo diber ha-kasuv, it is not discussing beef nuya, a woman who's not married.
Right.
So if an unmarried
Therefore, the daughter of a
has
Kohen,
relations, she doesn't fall. If a daughter of a Kohen has relations out of wedlock, she doesn't fall into this category.
right? She's some promiscuous, but she's not married. She's not a married woman. She's an unmarried woman. Then she doesn't come under this category, and she doesn't. In fact, she's not. She's not liable for the death sentence. Bichlal.
Es aviha hi michalelis. Chilala, she defiled, uviz sa, and disgraced, es kavodo, his honor.
But she has by acting in such an immoral way, she has defiled and disgraced his honor.
She'omdim alav, that they stand upon it.
Sha'omrim Allah.
So she'omrim, that they say concerning this, arur shezo yalad, cursed be the one who gave birth to her. Arur shezo gidel, cursed be the one who raised her.
Right. In other words, basically what the Rashi is pointing out is that what the Torah says, why does the Torah single out a special form of death penalty for this daughter of a Kohen, is because besides acting promiscuously, right, she is, which is stamaza, something which is forbidden and something which is disgraceful. But because her father's a Kohen, that's even worse.
But what is this word arur really meaning?
Cursed is the one who gave birth to this girl.
What does that
Oh,
mean, cursed?
Means,
That means he's gonna burn and he's gonna burn in fire. He's gonna go
no,
to.
he's talking about whatever. He's in other words, he's somewhat responsible for his daughter's actions. That's what people. Doesn't mean necessarily it's true, but this is what people say. Okay. Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not clear.
No, saying that what the Torah is pointing out over here is that when a person does something, he has to realize that not only is it his own responsibility, but it can have an effect on his close relatives, his family, that he has a responsibility to his family as well. To his, let's say here, this girl, she's got a responsibility to her parents as well, because she's giving them a bad name. So therefore, the form of death which he's going to get is a worse form of death than otherwise.
So
by the way, it's interesting that sorry?
I can see from the second one, Arur Shizo Gidel. He raised her.
Right.
He didn't do such a good job of raising her because she behaved this way.
Yeah, but you
So
mean what?
this
was the
redounds back upon him somehow, that he is cursed, whatever that means. But when it says Arur Shizo Yalad, what does that mean? He shouldn't have had a child?
I don't know. It's a good point. 1 second. Let me see over here.
Hmm.
Let me check if I have any mention on my Rashi. Rashi. Just 1 second. The pasuk test. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything mentioned over here. I don't. It's a good point. What's the first part? You know, I can understand curses you brought up this girl. There is a possibility, and just a thought occurred to me now, in the light of that, the thoughts of the parents have an effect on the character of the child. Whereas the thoughts of the parents at the time of union have an effect on the character of the child.
So we're holding the Kohen responsible for the behavior of the child because he had a bad thought at the time that he was having relations with his wife?
Yeah. He may have not had pure thoughts.
I'm sorry I asked.
I'm sorry. But I told you, I mean, I hope this matter is clarified when did you read that booklet?
I read that booklet, and it seems to me that it's a metaphor. It's not to be taken literally.
That is not necessarily so.
Well, it says in there very clearly that if a person has his bed oriented in a north-south direction,
Right.
then it's going to cause something bad to happen. And then it goes on to say, in the name of somebody, some rabbi, don't think that if you put your bed in north-south orientation, that it's going to have this effect.
Meaning positive or negative?
Pardon?
Hello?
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said.
Positive or negative?
Either. It goes on to explain that it's a metaphor. It's not saying that if you physically put your bed in this position, it's going to have an effect. It's talking
Yeah,
about attitudes that a person has.
correct. But I'm saying that that's for sure that nobody is disagreeing that the thoughts that a person has at the time of union with his wife will have an effect on the character of the child thereby conceived.
But not
Your question about a certain form of conduct, right? Irrespective of what the guy's thoughts are. That's
exactly.
what the Gemara is discussing, whether it's only a metaphor, being placing his bed in a certain position. Okay? But that's as far because, what difference should that make? Okay? Which way the bed is positioned. So about that, the Chazal say, it could be that's only a metaphor. But I'm talking about the actual thoughts of the husband and wife at the time of union. That is something real, something happening, what their input, shall we say, into the union will have a bearing on the character of the child born thereby. Okay. Let's continue.
Okay. Where are we? We're at let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, we finished. We finished.
We finished part of test. Right.
Okay, Yud. Let's see. Kohen Hagadol me echav asher yutzach al rosho shemen hamishcha umilei et yado lilbosh et habigadim et rosho lo yifra uvigadav lo yifrom. Okay, so let's see. The Kohen, who is greater than his brothers, his head will be anointed. Okay.
Who upon his head has been poured.
Oh, has upon his head. Okay. Right. And his hand is full.
And his hand literally has been filled. This is a terminology. This is a euphemistic term to say that he's been inaugurated.
Oh, he's been inaugurated.
Okay.
To wear the clothes.
To wear the priestly clothes.
The priestly clothes.
And we're referring to not just the ordinary priestly clothes, we're talking about the special priestly clothes of the Kohen Gadol, of the high priest. So that's what we're referring to. But Kohen Gadol, the high priest, who is the one who is higher than his brothers, upon whose head has been poured the anointing oil. And he's been inaugurated to wear the special high priestly clothes.
Mhm.
Okay? As Rosh lo yifra, he mustn't let his hair grow wild. Uvgadav lo yifraim, and he mustn't tear, he mustn't rend his clothes.
Oh, okay.
Meaning, obviously, in mourning.
Morning.
So that's what Rashi says.
Uh-huh. Okay, so lo yifra. Okay, so he shall not leave his hair grow wild. Oh, it says right here, lo yigadel pera. He should not grow his hair long.
Al
Okay. Al
al
ebel, out of mourning.
right.
Okay. The Eza Gidul Pera. So
What is
what?
considered growing wild?
Okay. So Yoter Mishloshim Yom, not more than 30 days between haircuts.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, it's interesting actually. I mean, I am right now. We're still in the year for my mother Aleh Shalom. So the halacha is that you're not allowed to have a haircut only once in 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, actually it works out. I mean, I can't tell you these things you don't normally look for convenience, but Lamaisa, the once in 3 months doesn't start necessarily from the time the relative passed away. It means from the previous haircut. Whereas each time, so it happened to be Lamaisa, as far as I was concerned, my mother passed away in Shvat. But the previous haircut what I'd taken was before Hanukkah. So I was allowed to take a haircut at the time it was 3 months, turned out Purim cotton. That means the first, the Purim, not real Purim, it's called Purim cotton in the first Adar. That was the 3 months when it came up. And now the next 3 months will be actually next week, which works out for me convenient because my daughter's getting married on Lag BaOmer, so I'll be able to take a haircut before the chasna.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Okay?
Very
You say
interesting.
that. Okay, we'll stop here. Very
Thank you.
good. See you tomorrow, Bezat Hashem. Okay?
Okay. Very